Why in the world is your tax refund so small? Well, because you're doing it wrong. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 tax tips that you must know in order to build wealth. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris, and that is today's show. Let's dive into it. Here we are at our very first rental property. I am Clayton. I'm a longtime real estate investor, and I'm best-selling author of the book, How to Pay Off Your Mortgage in 5 Years. I've helped thousands of people take that first step towards passive income and building financial intelligence. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. This is the stuff you were not taught in school. We're helping you build financial intelligence, one video, one podcast at a time. So thank you so much for dialing us up. We just got through tax season. You can see the pollen in the air, but it's all about prepping for next year and making sure that you're prepared. Not just the filing of the taxes. Who cares about that part? It's the planning. It's the making sure that you're building wealth properly. That's why millionaires and billionaires pay very little in taxes, because they understand how the system works. You don't have to be angry at them. The tax code is written a certain way. What baseball field are you going to play on? Are you going to play on the fake baseball field that doesn't exist? Or are you going to play on the actual field, the actual tax code baseball field that's written by Congress? That's the law. Are you going to whine and cry that you want to play on the other one, where the wealthy are taxed at a much higher rate and you pay less? Sorry, that's not the way it works. This is the tax law. This is the baseball field we're going to play on. And that's what we're going to talk about on today's discussion, this field, okay? So stop living in denial about where you're playing. But there are 3 key areas I want to get into, and we'll get to those areas in a second. You must understand if you're going to build wealth. But first, at a high level, I want to talk about why I like debt. Debt is a 4-letter word that has a lot of people up in arms and scared, right? I know they're the Dave Ramseys of the world that just absolutely hate any form of debt. But I've got news for you. Millionaires in this country did not do it on their own. Almost every millionaire you're going to talk to used other people's money in order to build their wealth. They used the bank's money. They used private money. They used hard money. They used debt in order to build wealth. My father-in-law, for instance, he says, if you don't have debt, you're making a huge mistake. He runs a huge company with many, many employees, hundreds of employees. And he has to buy big earth-moving diggers and trucks and all of this. And he absolutely needs a certain level of debt in order to build his business. When he takes out a loan in order to buy $1 million earth-moving diggers for his company, he's not taking that out with cash. He's using debt. And then he's able to depreciate that asset. We'll get into all this in a second. But you have to use debt. There is a difference between good debt and bad debt. And I want to have a lot of debt. I want to have a lot of debt because that means that I'm able to acquire and build wealth. I'm able to buy performing assets like homes, rental properties, and I'm able to expand my business. That is how wealthy people do it. So get it out of your head that debt is bad for today's discussion. So the first thing that you need to know about, the first tax tip that you need to understand, that a powerful, powerful tool is amortized debt. Amortized debt. Incredibly powerful. The idea of using other people's money to pay down your debt over a schedule. We think of this as a mortgage. Now, the big problem that you're going to know right away is that most people get an amortization schedule on the house they live in. Big mistake, because now the person paying down the debt on the house you live in is you. So you're getting debt from a bank. You're able to borrow money from a bank on a schedule for 30 years or 15 years. The idea is that you want other people to be paying down this schedule. So buying a rental property, placing a tenant in that property, renting it for $900 a month. Your amortized debt that you have to pay every month is $400 a month. Now, they are building equity for you. And you get to depreciate that asset, which we'll get to in just a second. So you're borrowing money from a bank. Someone else is helping you build equity in that property. Not you. You're not putting that money into it. Someone else is building this wealth for you. And you're building net worth as a result. So every time that person makes a payment to you on your mortgage or to your rent, and then you pay the mortgage, your net worth increases. Other people helping you build wealth with the power of debt. Which brings us to number 2. Appreciation is number 2 on my list. So you own this piece of property, you bought this gold, you bought this silver, and it's going up in value. It's going up in value, and you bought it on the backs of somebody else's money. So you borrowed money from a bank or other lending institution. They do not get that money. The bank does not get the appreciation. They only get your payment back to them. They don't get the appreciation. You get the appreciation. So now, follow me. You're borrowing money from a lender. That asset is now appreciating, and you get the benefits of that appreciation from the bank. That difference between what the bank lent you and what value you bought the property at, and the value that it is when you decide to sell it, or cash out and refinance it, which is what I would encourage you to do, and not sell it. So the bank allowed you to build this wealth, again, increasing your overall net worth. You follow me? Great, because now we're on to number 3, which is my favorite, which is depreciation. It's no money out of your pocket to depreciate this asset on your taxes. So let's follow me here. I've got an amortization schedule from a bank because I borrowed money. I bought an asset that someone else is paying back. The tenant is paying back, right? I get the benefit of the appreciation of that asset as it grows in value, and I can depreciate this asset on my taxes. And the bank doesn't get to. I do. I get the full benefit of depreciating that asset. I buy a $100,000 asset, I can depreciate that $100,000 asset. I can depreciate the roof. I can depreciate these other items. I can do what's called a cost segregation. And be sure to check out our video series on cost segregations coming up. Because now I can not only just depreciate the asset, I can individually go in, depreciate the roof, the windows, mechanicals, and other items in the house, and accelerate that depreciation on that property. So follow me here. Your income goes up, and your taxable burden and expenses go down. So you could be working a W-2 job, making a certain salary, and buying performing assets with other people's money that you then depreciate, therefore lowering how much money you have to pay to the federal government in taxes. Remember, as a business owner, you have an LLC set up, you are taxed on your net income. If you are an individual, you are taxed on your income. It doesn't matter. But if you are a business, the government taxes you more favorably. So set up a business today. We've got a whole video series on how to do that. Please, please, please run your expenses through your business. Become a real estate investor. Start buying performing assets. This is how you can really expand the power of your refund when it comes tax time. Thank you so much for joining us. Please hit that subscribe button. Now go out there, take action, become a real estate investor, pay less in taxes, and become financially intelligent. We'll see you next time.